You have reached the Geek Elite. Good luck.
My name is Oliver Queen.
My name is Barry Allen.
You're blind, but you see so much.
Everything we've been doing, it all leads here. Suit up.
Jim Gordon, GCPD. I hear good things about you, Counselor.
Harvey Dent. Likewise, about you, Detective.
You think you know me, but I've never been more than what each of you has created.
Just look at the flowers.
Welcome back for another episode of Televised Heroics. That's right, we're back. Daniel and I are here because we want to talk about a brand new show that's on Amazon Prime from a creator of other shows that we've watched on this program. We're going to talk about Invincible, which is created by Robert Kirkman. Isn't that right, Daniel?
Yes, it is.
What other shows have we watched that has been created by him?
So yeah, I was just to name the big one, The Walking Dead, and then Fear the Walking Dead, because I think he produced it.
Right, and then we watched for a little bit. We watched Outcast.
That's true.
You remember that?
That was a good one too.
Yeah, that was a good one. Was there 2 seasons to that? Was there only 1 season to that? I forget.
I always forget 2. I don't think we started the second season, but I believe there was 2 seasons.
Yeah, I think there was 2 seasons, but yeah, we only watched the first season. Let me see. Yep, there were 2 seasons. I wonder if we should probably try and go back and find that second season. Either way, Kirkman, I believe, wrote this, or he created this comic book in 2002, or at least created the character in 2002. It had a self-titled regular series in 2003. I think we got to, let's see, up to, I don't know, the Wikipedia page says 126 maybe? Probably a little bit further than that in issues. But have you ever read any of the comic books?
I kind of feel like, I'm not doing myself any justice or doing our show any justice, because I do have the first volume, which has issues 1 through 5 on there, and I haven't read it. I got it for myself as a Christmas present, but I still haven't read it.
Nice. I planned on buying the trade for the first couple story arcs, but I have not done that yet. So I have not read any of the Invincible books. So that's, I think, is going to benefit me, even though from what I've heard, they've stuck pretty close to the comic books in what they're doing. I will try and go and read them or buy them and then read them after the first season, just to see what it is that I could be missing. But I don't know.
I've heard the same thing, that it's pretty true to the comics.
Yeah. Like, I think this is it looks a lot like what you see in the comic books, like the style wise, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, the artwork is very similar from the pages I flipped through.
Who is the artist from his creation? I mean, Robert Kirkman's the writer. Do they have someone attributed as the artist? Is it Ryan Ottley?
I believe it's Ryan Ottley, yeah, because it says it's created by Corey Walker as well.
Okay, there you go. Robert Kirkman and Corey Walker. Thank you. Yep. What was your understanding of the character before going into the show?
Just from the preview alone, just going in that, he is the son of, the greatest superhero alive, Omni-Man, and pretty much Omni-Man, teaching him, training him how to be a superhero. And that's pretty much all I got. So I just want to say I was surprised with what I saw.
Yeah, just so you know that we're going to be spoiling the first 3 episodes of the show that have hit Amazon Prime. And if you haven't watched it yet and don't want to know anymore, you should go watch that and come back. Also, like we neither one of us has read anything of the comic books, but we know a couple things, so we might spoil some of that in the comic books. Doesn't necessarily mean it's something that's going to happen in the show. So I knew beforehand that even though he's the son of Omni-Man, he's the half son of Omni-Man, which is obviously a Superman counterpart, so to speak. But in this version, he's evil. He is very much sent to Earth to conquer. He just got distracted by falling in love. So as he has a half human, half, what's the name of their race? It is Viltrumite?
Viltrumite?
Yeah.
I guess, maybe.
Mark Grayson, son of, what's Omni-Man's? Nolan Grayson. And Deborah Grayson discovers he has powers, while in high school. And he has all the powers. He has, I don't know about all the powers, but he definitely has super strength and flight and speed. So,
and super speed.
Yeah, and super speed. And this is, this is the coming of age time. This is him showing up and having to deal with girls in high school and then now getting superpowers. What did you enjoy about the first episode?
I just like that, it had obviously a lot of the cast from, The Walking Dead voicing for some of the characters. So I really enjoyed that. Definitely enjoyed a lot of, just the light humor that I had, basically the light humor. I thought it was going to be, kind of funny, kind of witty the way it was until the very end of the first episode. And then I want to say I really loved the way the first episode is ending just because I was not expecting it at all.
Yeah, so let's talk about the ending of that first episode. In the beginning of the episode, you see two bad guys that are attacking the White House. And as they are attacking the White House, basically a counterpart to the Justice League show up. I think they're called the Global Guardians, or the Guardians of the Globe.
Guardians of the Globe.
Yeah. You have a Superman in the character of Immortal, I believe is his name. Then you had a Wonder Woman character, a Martian Manhunter character, a Flash character, a Batman character named Darkwing, which I thought was hilarious, a Aquaman character, and a kind of Green Lantern character. Like, I think all I really felt like she did was like go intangible, but she was green and she got her powers from a gem. So they're handling these two guys for the most part, but that's when Omni-Man shows up and helps finish off the bad guys, and you think everything's hunky-dory, but once you get to the end of the episode, he just walks right into their watchtower and kills them. He has a hard time at it. Their Flash character, Red Rush, definitely does the most damage, in my opinion. But as he is at super speed punching Omni-Man's chest, Omni-Man just squishes his head. And that was disgusting. The death of Darkwing was disgusting. The death of their Wonder Woman character. Man,
just a neck snap.
Yeah, here we go. I'm sorry. It's Darkwing, War Woman, Red Rush, Aquarius, Martian Man, Green Ghost, yeah, and the Immortal, which it was just. I mean, it was a good thing. It was a good, interesting watch. Like this is why people fear Superman.
Yeah. Just that was brutal. I knew this show was already gonna be bloody, like in Robert Kirkman fashion, but holy, just wow.
I definitely felt like this was this is his way of like turning the comic book tropes on their side, much like he's done with his other writing.
Okay.
What was it that you enjoyed most about that first episode?
Again, just have to go with the
did I already ask that?
Yeah.
My bad. Okay.
You're good.
What was your biggest surprise then watching this character?
I love J.K. Simmons, and J.K. Simmons has a warming voice, and just about any show I've seen him voice for, like Legend of Korra, very strong, dad vibe, always sense of truth, always fighting for justice. So just for him to tear into, Darkwing like he was a phone book, left me shocked and surprised.
Let's talk about this voice cast. So we have Sandra Oh as Debbie Grayson, J.K. Simmons as Nolan Grayson, Omni-Man, Stephen Yeun as Mark Grayson, Invincible, Zazie Beetz as Amber Bennett, Walton Goggins as Cecil Stedman, Gillian Jacobs as Eve or Adam Eve, Jason Mantzoukas as Rexplode, Greg Griffin as Monster Girl.
Sorry, I just want to say I'm glad Jason Mantzoukas is still getting work. I'm happy that he's a part of the show.
Kevin Michael Richardson is Mauler 1. Zachary Quinto is Robot. Andrew Rannells, I don't know. I never know how to say his name, as William Clockwell.
Donalds?
Yeah. Like, this cast of people just goes on and on. And Mae Whitman, Carrie Payton, Seth Rogen, Mark Hamill, Clancy Brown, Michael Dorn, Ross McQuan, Jeffrey Donovan, Mahershala Ali, John Hamm, like Fred Tatasciore. Like, I know that's a prominent voice actor.
Yeah, he is. Lots of Transformers stuff and Overwatch stuff.
Yeah. So, how do you feel about this cast, especially someone who watches a lot of animated stuff?
I'm actually okay with it. Again, because I love a lot of these people from different projects. Mae Whitman, she was also in Avatar, so I know she can pull off the voice acting. She's done other animated work as well. So I'm really happy with that. Obviously, Seth Rogen has done some animated stuff. Kari Payton, big in the voice acting world. Ross McQuan, Marquand, does, impressions, very good impressions at that. And he was Red Skull.
He did his impression of Hugo Weaving as Red Skull.
So again, really happy with the cast. And also, so when I went to KamehaCon a couple of years ago, we did an interview with Kyle Aber. That was an email interview. I actually got to talk to him in person, chat with him a little bit side by side with him. So I asked him about how he feels about big name celebrities, voicing. He's like, well, that's my life. I voice cartoons for a living or animation. He did say though that the studios are getting a lot better. Especially like if you live in California, it seems like Disney and like Pixar and also some other studios that do animation. They're actually hiring voice actors to actually coach the top name actors on how to deliver dialogue and that sort of thing. So there is improvement in that. So it makes me very happy too.
And Grey Griffin, like, where do I know her name from? Did you talk to her before?
I don't think so.
Oh. Sounded familiar, but
she Selena Kyle Catwoman in the Arkham games and also in the animated series.
Oh, okay, that must be where I know it from. Okay, so yeah, this is like it's a stacked cast, and that was not even everybody to mention. There's plenty more people to mention in that cast. Seth
right,
Rogen,
especially because we still have 5 more episodes.
5 more episodes. Yeah, you're right. Seth Rogen being mentioned in there, he is also currently working on a live action version of this property.
Is he really?
Yeah. That's kind of one of the reasons why I guess he was signed on to do the voice of Alan the Alien that we see in the second episode or third episode. No, second episode. Basically because they were like, hey, or Robert Kirkman said, hey, come do this. So I'm interested in seeing how that will work out as a live action.
I mean, I was kind of thinking, I was like, I understand why they went, animated and not live action, because all the action sequences and, all the special effects having all those characters around.
Oh, yeah. It's going to take a lot. Excuse me.
A lot of money.
So the first episode's all about him, about our protagonist, Mark Grayson, finding out about his powers. There's nothing really special about him before he gets his powers. Nothing really special about him after he gets his powers. He's a wallflower. Yeah, he's definitely a wallflower. He tried to stick up for Amber Bennett when the Flash Thompson wannabe was kind of trying to hit on her. But that didn't work out for him. He got his ass kicked, and Amber saved his bacon by kicking the dude in the balls. Second episode, his dad is in the hospital through most of it because he's recovering from his killing of the Guardians of the Globe. They very much he made it play off that he also got attacked in the watchtower or whatever it is that they call headquarters. But there is one, there's one quote unquote superhero that doesn't quite believe him. It's what would you call that? The character that Clancy Brown, Damian Darkblood. Who would you say that he's most like? Is it Hellboy or is it Etrigan?
I mean, he definitely looks like a Hellboy.
Yeah, he's like a demon detective. So he's kind of Hellboy, Etrigan, and Constantine all rolled into one.
Right, especially since he has that trench coat.
Yeah, especially since he's got that trench coat. So he's putting things together and realizing that Omni-Man's story doesn't quite add up. And yeah, and then their government liaison guy, Cecil Stedman, who voiced by Walton Goggins, which is awesome, but also himself has powers, or at least has very cool tech. He's starting to realize that Omni-Man's not telling him the truth either. Also, I did like in the first episode where there's like a bunch of scenes where Nolan, Omni-Man, like kind of loses his temper with Mark, and it kind of makes me think that like he obviously loves Debbie, Mark's mom, but sometimes I wonder, like, does he actually love his own son, or is that just like a, oh man, this happened, but I love this lady, so I guess I have to stick around kind of thing?
I think it was more like this happened. Or actually, what if he does love his son? Obviously, he's there for a purpose. And he's like, if I train my son the correct way, I have some extra power to help conquer the world. So he still loves him. But obviously, kind of stuck around too with the whole like, crap, this happened.
I mean, the story that he tells Mark is that when people on Viltrumite become of a certain age, they're supposed to go out and help other worlds in the best way that they can, because everybody on the planet has powers. It's not like a Superman thing where he just got the powers when he got to Earth. Obviously, we know there's something different. It's going to be more, I'm guessing, when you become a certain age, you go out and you try and conquer other planets. Well, I mean, why do you think that he decided to go in there and kill the Guardians of the Globe, at this point? Like, obviously, he's been around them before. Why didn't he kill them before? What made it happen now? Is it because his son has powers?
It's probably because his son does have the powers, so he can train him. Obviously, so he doesn't get recruited by the global 7. So that kind of puts a stop to it, and so he can train it on his own and unite. But obviously, don't have to unite anymore since they're all dead. But
So in the second episode, Invincible meets up with Team, essentially the Teen Titans of this world. You have characters like Robot, Rexplode, Adam Eve, Duplicate. Is there one more? Maybe
no,
not.
I think it's just them.
It was just them. And he kind of does well on the team and does maybe not so well. Is this? Yeah, this is when the aliens attack that are from another planet that their timeline goes faster, right?
Right.
Because it wasn't. And then at the end of the episode is when Omni-Man takes them on, or was that in the third episode?
No, Omni-Man takes them on at the end.
At the end of the second episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
Comes home all covered in blood and stuff.
Yeah, with his hair longer because he's been gone on their planet for a long time and stuff like that. While he's in the hospital, he's Mark tries to take it upon himself to learn more. And it doesn't quite work out. He has a lot to learn. But he figures out that the leader, or at least one of the leaders, or one of the members of Team, is a girl named Eve that actually he goes to high school with. He finds it funny that he never realized that she was Eve, even though she uses her real name. But she explains it's like people just don't notice or whatever.
Yeah, kind of blended, and that's it.
Yeah, he at least wears a mask. It I would assume kind of helps in disguising himself, but probably best that you don't think about it. Especially like with his friend.
So I want to ask about Rexplode.
Oh, sorry, but especially about his friend William. Like his friend William's talking about Omni-Man and how cute Omni-Man is, or how sexy Omni-Man is, and Mark is like not cool with it because he knows that it's his dad, but William just is like, oh, you're just uncomfortable with it because it's a homosexual thing. How is it that you don't look at Mark's dad and be like, you look exactly like Omni-Man?
Right, doesn't change his his hair or anything. Wears it the exact same way. Has that big old bushy mustache.
Yep, and the gray streaks on the side.
Yeah.
Okay, what were you gonna say about Rexplode?
I was just gonna ask about Rexplode. So is he pretty much kind of like a Jubilee and kind of like a Gambit mixture? Since he was throwing coins and they exploded.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, my first thought was that he was a Gambit type character. I guess Jubilee. Yeah, you could definitely throw Jubilee in there because he can manipulate the explosion to the point where it's like a firework, as we saw. Yeah, we saw at the end of that episode when he's throwing it into the air. I mean, Jason Mantzoukas plays the character up pretty well, especially the part when I think in the third episode when they're joining the Guardians of the Globe and he has to go up against Monster Girl. Like that was pretty hilarious. He's like getting dragged around and bloodied and still quipping and being a smart ass and stuff. So it was a good watch.
Was.
What'd you think of those tryouts? At the end of it, when it's like Duplicate, Rexplode, and Adam Eve all make it on the team, I was like, well, that's not fair. That's like just the team.
Right. Robot was like, hey, you worked with me, so come on in.
Yeah.
I'll take you in.
Was it Doc Samson or Black Samson? That's what it was called.
Black Samson.
That's Kerry Payton.
Yep.
He at one point had powers, lost his powers, and now uses a exosuit or a power suit like Iron Man to replicate powers. he's obviously the one that's not part of the other group. Him and Monster Girl. Was it Monster Girl that made it in? No, it was
Monster Girl made it in.
Monster Girl, and then what was the other character? The other lady. The one that shrank down like the atom. Yeah.
Ooh, her name. Man, that is actually a good question. I can't think.
I felt like they didn't spend enough time with telling us names, but she was like, "Yeah, whenever you guys get your stuff together, come find me. I'll go ahead and join the team then."
Yeah.
Was that was that Mae Whitman's character? Was that Connie?
Oh, maybe.
I don't know. I'm not great with voices.
I don't know if it was her though, but it could be.
Yeah, it could be.
It's not giving us the character name. I'm on IMDb and I can't find it.
It's okay. Let me see on the Guardians of the Galaxy Guardians of the Globe thing. Duplicate.
I know what your mind's on.
Shrinking Ray. That must have been her name.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
sounds like it makes sense.
Like I love the way that she took down that gorilla guy, getting into his ear and messing with his equilibrium to the point where he just hit himself in the hand and then puked. Yeah.
Well, actually, Grey Griffin as Shrinking Ray.
Oh, okay. There you go. So she does.
I go on my phone to find the names.
Multiple voices.
Yeah.
She does Monster Girl and Shrinking Ray. Interesting.
Shows off her range.
Yeah, yeah. Are there any other particular characters, like comic book characters, that you like that you would love to see Robert Kirkman make a parody of in this? Or a counterpart?
I mean, they already did Batman, and we know what happens to Batman, so...
I mean, that's
done.
That was brutal. That was so brutal.
Yeah, to say the least. I guess like a pretty cool one to take a spin. Well, I don't know. I guess Marvel kind of already did it. I was gonna say Deathstroke, and they have Deadpool, so I guess you can't really spin that anymore.
I'm sure Kirkman found a way. I mean, it's like 160 issues. I don't know, 144 issues, maybe.
So he probably did it.
He probably did it.
I don't know, maybe like a Cyclops or like a Wolverine character would be pretty cool. Or like a Nightcrawler.
Ooh, a Nightcrawler. I'd like to see that. We saw Omni-Man give the funeral speech for the Guardians of the Globe. I don't necessarily know if they're all dead, because when Cecil's team came in and like grabbed a few of their dead bodies, it very much seemed like he was able to. He was like, "Oh, it's okay. We can bring them back." I was like, "Really?" I mean, I know
the technology.
I know the one dude's name was the Immortal, so maybe he'd be able to live through something like that. But like, he had his head chopped off.
Yeah, maybe that's the only way he can't come back is like his head needs to be attached or something, and that's why he's like chop.
I mean, it's a possibility.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how you could bring. Obviously, you can't bring the Batman parody, Blackwing. You can't bring him back after that.
No, Darkwing does not come back after
Darkwing,
that. He was putty after the end of that. Like that was disgusting. How long do you think it is until Invincible finds out about his father?
Him being a villain?
Yeah.
I think he's going to have a speech with him at the end of the season. Be like, hey, son, so either you're with me or you're against me.
Oh, okay.
At the end of the first season.
I was wondering if that's like part of the plan. That maybe that's why he killed the Guardians of the Globe, because he knew that when they go to make the new team, like his son would maybe be on the team. Now, Mark didn't actually take up a position on the team. He kind of came in as a consultant, I guess, so to speak. But yeah, I don't know if that's like he was trying to put his son in a prominent place in the superhero world.
I mean, he could be doing him a favor by doing that as well, because he's like, hey, I just want to be like you. He's like, what? You want to be popular? You want to be cool? You want to have all, kids, drawing you on your notebook kind of thing. So maybe he did doing that sort of favor.
Maybe. And then he was, that it puts him, or it puts in a new team of people that would probably like look to him as a leader, or even Omni-Man as a leader when. If he's gonna, I don't know if he's gonna take over by himself, or if like other Viltrumites will come in and try to invade, kind of like the way that those bug-looking aliens invaded. Because that was a nice line when he made it, when Omni-Man made it back to their home planet, and he's like, "You don't get to invade Earth, I do," like kind of thing.
Yeah. So here's a question though. So if Omni-Man is obviously evil, why isn't he teaming up with any of the supervillains that are already on Earth?
That's a good question. I would assume just because he finds them all beneath him. Like he doesn't need anybody else to team up with. I wonder if there's the Lex Luthor in this world. If there's a I don't know who else would be a villain to a Bizarro or a Doctor Doom, so to speak.
I could see a Doctor Doom being in that, that universe.
Yeah. This takes place in the same universe as Savage Dragon. I wonder if other Image Comics characters are in this universe. I mean, I obviously I don't think Spawn is.
No, probably not. But could be right. I didn't know that it was in the same Savage Dragon universe.
Well, it says that Invincible first appeared in a preview as part of Savage Dragon 102 before graduating to his own self-titled regular series in 2003. So maybe it was just like pages in Savage Dragon. Like they're like, hey, here's a new thing that's going to be coming out. Not so much his character showed up in that book or anything.
Okay, I see. So, how do you feel about us having a Gambi, Mark Hamill?
What do you mean?
Basically, Mark Hamill is the Gambi of this universe, since he's making all the costumes, the suits.
Oh, was that Mark Hamill?
Yeah,
I did not recognize his voice. Yeah, I did not recognize his voice. I mean, that's cool. That's a great role for him. I mean, obviously, I won't get to hear the Joker laugh, but it's still a good role for him. I'm glad that he's in there.
Do you think that Art knows what's going on with Omni-Man?
I don't.
Or do you think he's a superhero?
I think sorry, excuse me. I think he's just a superhero, and Art just thinks he's a superhero, and he thinks he's one of the best superheroes, like everybody else does. So, no reason to suspect anything else.
Gotcha.
What do you hope for the rest of the season?
We've been seeing lots and lots of gore, so I'm hoping the show still keeps on being gory.
I mean, it's definitely a weird juxtaposition when you're watching something that's animated like this, right? I know there are other adult animation out there that gets gory or bloody or what have you, but this is definitely looks like stuff that you would watch from like Justice League or Justice League Unlimited, but you would never see something this brutal in there. So it's interesting to watch. Now, who do you prefer our young Mark with, Adam Eve or Amber Bennett at this point?
At this point, I would say, just because it's a whole superhero thing, I would obviously say I would rather have him be with Eve. And you?
I mean, I think we're eventually going to get there. So just being with Amber at this moment it works for me.
Gotcha.
Okay. Anything else you want to say?
I just hope that they make obviously more, other comic book references and stuff, and bring in other, characters that are clear parodies that we all know. Because I was loving it.
Yeah, it's nice to point them out and think about them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. If you have an opinion on this show or feel like we missed on talking about something, please reach out to me. I am on Twitter at Mitchipedia GEM. GEM stands for Geek Elite Media. Daniel, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at SuperCommieDaniel.
The rest of Geek Elite Media is at Geek Elite Media on Twitter, at Geek Elite Media on Instagram, and Facebook.com/Geek Elite Media is our Facebook page. Check out archived episodes of this podcast and other podcasts on our network on our website, geekelitemedia.com. Go to Patreon for exclusive material that you can only get if you're one of our patrons, patreon.com/geekelitemedia. And whatever podcatcher you use to listen to us, please rate and review us. It is the best way to help spread the word of our network. But until next time, this is Televised Heroics on the Geek Elite Media Network saying always remember to geek out.
Geek out.
This concludes our broadcast.